This second video is going to be all about highlighting and contouring. Now in basic color theory, we learned that darker shades and colors create shadows and that brighter shades and colors create the illusion of an area looking larger. Now this same concept applies when you're doing your makeup. Contour is basically applying darker shades to create shadows on your face where you want it to look slimmer or you want it to look more pushed back. And you use brighter shades where you want to bring out the dull areas of your skin, like under your eyes or the center of your face. This just makes your face look more angular. Everybody has a different face shape. The way you contour and highlight your face depends on your face shape. Now there's 8 basic face shapes. You have the inverted triangle, the round face, the heart-shaped face, the oblong face, the square face, the diamond face, the triangle face, and the rectangle face. The first step we're going to go to is highlighting. Now highlighting basically involves adding lighter shades to the parts of your face that you want to bring forward. This is usually the center of your face, no matter what your face shape is. Now the first thing you always do after you apply your foundation is go with a concealer under your eyes. Now you have a lot of concealers on the market, but you want to choose one that's full coverage. Your concealer doesn't actually have to be that much lighter than your foundation, no matter what you see on Instagram. You don't have to paint triangles under your face, you just have to pick a shade that's somewhat close to your foundation but just a little bit lighter. Because when you're applying concealer to a dark area, the area under your skin is already dark. So when you're applying a shade that's too light, it might leave a grey cast. So even if you're just applying the shade that you used on your face, it's gonna look lighter anyway, so don't have to worry too much about that. I'm using the Kryolan palette again, but there's a lot of concealers on the market that are available. If you don't have very prominent dark circles, you can use something like the Maybelline Fit Me concealer that isn't very high coverage, like it's medium coverage, it gets the job done, but it doesn't dry down matte, so you want to use a setting powder to cover it. If you need something more full coverage, Maybelline has a few other concealers and so do some other brands, and a quick Google search will probably get you what you need. So I'm using a concealer brush that I bought from Miniso, but you can honestly just use your fingers if you're doing it on yourself. If you're doing it on a client, then you definitely don't want to use your fingers. Use a brush that's shaped somewhat like this, and you can even use like an eyeshadow brush, like any fluffy brush will probably do. When you're applying it, you go very like minimalistic over here. You definitely don't want to make big triangles under your face because that looks terrifying in real life. It really only works in like harsh lightings and on Instagram or YouTube. Have it laid down, you can just start blending. First you want to drag it out a little bit and just make sure you get your entire under eye. Once you've done that, you can start using circular motions to blend it out. Make sure you don't leave your concealer on under your eyes for too long, otherwise it might dry down the way it is and then get really difficult to blend. Now once you have your concealer laid down, you might notice your face looking a bit too flat, and especially your under eyes. Like even if you look a bit like a ghost, don't worry, it's not a problem. Once you have your eyeshadow on and your contour on and everything, it's all going to look normal. Unless you're doing really heavy makeup, you don't really want to highlight any other part of your face except right down here, because only in like editorial makeup you really like highlight like on your forehead, on your nose, and the center of your face, because that kind of stuff really stands out on camera, but in real life not so much. It might look a little crazy. Depending on your face shape, where you put your contour really matters. Now I don't personally use cream contour because I find it a little bit too harsh. I use a powdered contour or a bronzer. What I'm currently using right now is the Hoola bronzer by Benefit, and it's a really nice shade for like light to medium skin tones, and I think they have a darker shade if you have a darker skin tone. In order to apply bronzer, I use a large fluffy brush like so, and you want to dip into the bronzer a few times. And now the way you contour depends on your face shape. Some people have like larger foreheads that taper downwards. Some people have like a little more fat over here that they'd like to conceal. Wherever you feel like on the sides of your face you have excessive shadow, that's where you take a little bit of your bronzer and apply it in light motions. You want to go downwards, start at the temples and go downwards on your cheekbones. When you're applying your bronzer, you just want to make sure it's right above where your cheek tip is. Like the easiest way to do this is to suck in your cheeks like so. And you see that hollow like place over there, you want to go right above that. Like don't go inside there because then that's going to make your face look all droopy and like skeletonish. So again, make sure you're layering your bronzer and not going too much at once, otherwise you're going to have a big dark mark on your face and it's not going to look very flattering. Just keep going that way. And yeah, it doesn't have to be too excessive. Now again, the way you contour really depends on your face shape. For example, take an inverted triangle face shape. Inverted triangle face shapes, they widen at the forehead and really taper down at the chin. So for that kind of face shape, you want to heavily contour the forehead and then obviously on your cheekbones and then on your jaw. But you want to really focus the contour on your forehead. This gives the illusion of the face being more oval shaped. I personally have an oblong face shape, which means I have a face that is longer than it is wide. So for me personally, I would be contouring the sides of my temples to some extent, right down to my cheekbone, and then the upper part of my jaw, right till the bottom. So for somebody that doesn't have a very long jaw, you would avoid contouring right above where the jawline is and stick it to like under, just so you don't feel like you have a double chin. But since I have an oblong face shape, we want to make it look a little more compact. So I'll be contouring right above the jawline. So you repeat the same thing on both sides of your face. If you're just going for a day out, you really don't even need to contour. Like you can just have a light brush of bronzer on the sides of your cheeks to give your face some color. It doesn't have to be like a full structured contouring. In fact, structured contouring really isn't necessary unless you're doing like a photo shoot or something like that. Like, don't let Instagram fool you. You don't need heavy makeup every single day of your life. The last step to contour is nose contour. Now, nose contour is actually pretty tricky. It comes with practice. It took me years to like get it actually right. So you want to start like, not like in the dip of your nose because that's just going to make your nose look bigger, but like right after it, like go down in straight lines. And same on the other side. Like just right down there. Now again, you want to go light at first and keep building it till you kind of get the shape that you want, but make sure you don't go too far because it will be very noticeable and it's just going to make your nose look bigger if you don't do it exactly correct. So nose contour comes with practice. Just keep doing it. Maybe do it every day if you're not getting the hang of it. And eventually you'll know where you want to place your contour and what suits your exact nose shape. Now you've laid all your base down. The last thing you have left is setting powder. You get translucent setting powders like this. Again, there's a great one from Maybelline. You can just use that. You tap a big brush into it and just go mainly under your eyes. You apply setting powders to the parts of your skin where you feel like the foundation may crinkle. So near your mouth line and under your eyes mostly. If you have very oily skin, you want to apply it all over your face. And with that, you have most of your base all done. The next steps are like blush and highlight and all that, which we'll discuss in the later episodes. Thank you for watching.